Today on Monkey Life, Alison goes to collect Kush, a pet marmoset in need of a new home, despite the best efforts of her owner.
You've done a really nice job and a thoughtful job compared to most.
Past the parcel for the chimps, the bachelor boys get their morning treats all boxed up.
I think they're enjoying it. They're suspiciously quiet, which always worries me with chimps, to be honest.
And a puzzle feeder proves no problem for the skillful squirrel monkeys. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Anything could happen. You really have to have an open mind.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. It's early morning, and Alison's getting ready to rescue a marmoset. A regular occurrence for the team at Monkey World.
Right, gloves, zip ties, food.
She's heading to Bristol, just a short journey from the park in Dorset, to pick up a female called Kush, who's been on the waiting list since 2019.
Here we go again.
The park has rescued primates from all across the globe for the past 37 years. But the UK primate pet trade is a relentless burden on its resources. Kush will be the 131st monkey to be given a home, having been legally sold as a pet.
Kush's story is not unique to the pet trade. Kush and another female were actually sold for £2,000 to the gentleman in Bristol that we're about to go meet. Sadly, one of the females died, and Kush remains. And the chap sort of sounds like he knows what he needs to do for the marmoset. She's not had any issues, so she looks pretty good.
But that's not usually the case, as Alison well knows. She's been campaigning for decades for a change in UK law governing the trade in primates as pets, and has been on the steering committee drafting legislation currently going through Parliament.
We continue to battle on, hoping that we're going to get the laws changed. I think it's our 83rd marmoset. So yeah, quite a few primates coming in. Kush is actually going to go and join Moschino, Mozzie for short, who we rescued from the pet trade just last year. So I'm hoping that Kush and Mozzie will become our next happy couple at the park, and that all goes well today.
While Alison heads to Bristol to collect Kush, back at the park, the team are prepping for the marmoset's arrival. Elle is getting a bedroom ready, with only minimal changes. Kush's owner has indicated the marmoset has good mobility, so additional safe low branching isn't needed.
Just putting up some little bits and bobs, little forage tubs, just assessing the branching that we've got in there just to make sure it's all firmly up and stable, ready for her arrival.
The team are optimistic Kush will bond with Mozzie. He arrived last year after being confiscated and removed from poor living conditions by the RSPCA. His previous owner was found guilty of animal welfare offences and banned from keeping animals for 10 years.
He was rescued where he was kept in solitary confinement, so he really lacks the social and communication skills that marmosets really need. We've done a few intros with Moschino. They haven't gone very successfully. When we're introducing marmosets together, you've got to try and think, do their personalities match? I think the previous females that we have tried to match Mozzie up with perhaps might not have been the best for him. However, the sound of this new female is more up to his standard.
If they hit it off, marmosets pair bond for life, so there's a lot at stake for both of them. Kush will spend a few days in the bedroom next door to Mozzie to get accustomed to the sights, sounds and smells of her new surroundings. When the two marmosets appear settled alongside each other, the primate care staff can decide if a more close-up and personal introduction is appropriate. Keeping groups of captive chimpanzees stimulated and happy is a challenge for the primate care staff. In the wild, chimps can spend a third of their day eating and foraging, travelling as they go. But finding food isn't an issue at the park, so the team need to come up with ideas to keep their charges busy. Today, they're boxing clever, having hoarded delivery packaging for the last few weeks in order to motivate Paco's bachelor group and encourage them to hunt for treats.
We want to make their lives as interesting as possible. They are, at the end of the day, in captivity, it's nowhere near as stimulating as what their lives in the wild would be, so you're just constantly trying to engage them on more of an intellectual level, I guess. But yeah, sometimes it's just nice to let them just run riot. They like to break things. Now they've got an outlet for it for the day.
The team have filled the boxes with a variety of healthy snacks.
So inside the boxes, we've scattered a mixture of different seeds, different nuts, a lot of different mixtures of dried fruit, which is great. It's nice and small little bits. So yeah, they're going to have to go fidgeting around in the boxes to find them, but probably when they grab the boxes and go up high, they're going to drop loads of it, so then they've got to climb back down to forage on the grass for it. Little bits and bobs like that are just great, and dried fruit isn't a huge part of their diet these days because it is so sugary, so we do like to use it as sparingly as we can, but we just want them to be happy, so, you know, doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as we've got silly, playful chimps at the end of the day, we feel like our job's been done.
The boxes, of all different shapes and sizes, are distributed around the boys' large enclosure, giving everyone an opportunity to tackle them. Some snacks will be easy to find, while others have been hidden in tied-up old socks. Hopefully, Paco's ageing group will prove enthusiastic and up to the task. With the boxes all set, it's time for Sean to let the noisy chimps out into their enclosure. There's plenty of excitement. The group know it's breakfast time, but today it looks a lot different. And as they get stuck in, it's obvious good things don't just come in small packages, but in all shapes and sizes. Mojo goes for a smaller option, striking gold immediately with a handful of nuts. A nutty treat for Rocky too, who uses his strong teeth to crack it open. Charlie isn't usually known for his enthusiasm when it comes to enrichment, but today he's gathered a cache of cardboard and is thoroughly enjoying himself. Low-ranker Kiko opts for a box nestling in a prickly gorse bush. Chimps in the wild spend most of their day foraging through the foliage. There's barely a sound as everyone tucks in.
I think they're enjoying it. They're suspiciously quiet, which always worries me with chimps, to be honest. Yeah, we want them to have a challenge, you know, we don't want everything to just be easy for them. Sometimes you can feel quite mean, that you feel like you're making things too hard, but that's what's keeping them occupied. You know, it's better than them just being sat there bored. You know, we really want them to push themselves a bit. So, yeah, the harder it is to get inside the smaller boxes, and also there's more food inside the smaller boxes, so it's worth more to put the effort in for them.
Sean has also left an extra hidden treat for the chimps to find.
We put a few monkey nuts inside the hanging barrel. We really don't use it too often. We don't want to go overboard using the same enrichment too many times, otherwise it stops being stimulating. So this will be the first time they've had the barrel in quite a long while, actually. Sometimes with the boys, they're a little bit lazy occasionally, so they might just go, oh yeah, there's something in there, I'll go and eat something else instead. But fingers crossed they'll use it.
One chimp enjoying today's boxed-up breakfast is 33-year-old Paquito. He's a playful chimp who's come a long way since being rescued back in 1997. He was found locked up in a shed in Barcelona.
Oh my goodness sakes. Hello, hello. This is a big boy. Oh my.
When he arrived at Monkey World, He had few social skills and no clue about how to behave with other chimps. But life with the bachelors has taught Paquito a lot, and he's now a much valued part of the troupe. It doesn't take long for the chimps to work through the boxes, with only a few scraps left to find. Some of the nuts and fruit have fallen to the ground and will be foraged throughout the day. But leader Paco has found another use for the empty boxes, making a nest, before settling down for a mid-morning snooze. After a 2-hour journey, Alison has arrived in Bristol to collect Kush, a pet trade marmoset.
Yeah, let's go see what the score is.
She's meeting owner Dean, who contacted Monkey World 4 years ago to discuss the possibility of rehoming his pet.
Oh yeah, it's just knocking on the door. Are you Dean?
Yeah, you come in, all right?
Yeah, I'm Alison.
How you doing, all right?
Pleasure.
It's taken more than 4 years for space to become available for Kush at the park.
Oh, she's smelly.
So,
Dean and his father originally bought 2 marmosets from a dealer 9 years ago for £2,000. They were supposed to be a male and a female, but later a visit to the vet revealed both were females.
She's well fed. She's a bit chubby.
well fed, Jackie?
Yeah, and her back is a little bit hunched, so she does need some D3. But she looks pretty good, don't you look worried?
Dean realised early on that looking after a pet primate and keeping it fit and healthy is hard work and a full-on job.
So you bought 2 of them. Was that by choice or?
I thought it was a good idea at the time. It's not. And people don't understand the attention, the time span that they need.
What would you say about the pet trade and these being bought and sold, sort of like goldfish?
This is not a goldfish. It's no joke. I done what I could. It's still not enough.
You've done a really nice job and a thoughtful job compared to most.
Dean has done his best to look after the small primate, providing her with a large outside enclosure linked to an indoor cage with suitable heating. Kush has also had an appropriate diet, including live grubs and insects. But despite all Dean's efforts, he knows he hasn't been able to provide everything the marmoset needs.
It's just sad that people are sort of left in this position, really. He spent so much money, time, and effort trying to make it right, but it can't really be done in a domestic setting unless you're prepared to give your entire life over or have so much free income that you can pay other people to be looking after your animals. But, that's certainly not within most people's financial ability.
With the travel box ready for the journey home, Alison now needs to persuade Kush into it.
Might be able to make friends yet. Good girl. Hey, Kushti.
But Kush isn't entirely convinced. She does trust Dean, however, so he steps in to help.
She's looking. She has to walk in before I can do it, otherwise it's all over.
Alison attempts to bribe her with waxworms, but Kush is still wary of the box.
Good girl.
Another one?
After a certain amount of hesitation, the lure of live food proves too much.
5.
Job done.
She's a confident lady. It just took some time and actually going for cupboard love, really. I mean, we can say all of these fabulous things. In the end, it comes down to the waxworms.
You'll be all right.
After 9 years of caring for the marmoset, it's time for Dean to say his goodbyes.
Oh, mate.
Thanks again. Take care.
Yeah. I can't bear it. I will look after your little girl, and you bring your family down, huh? You know, it's heartbreaking. I could even cry right now. And, like, this is what I do day in and day out, up and down the breadth of Britain. This trade does more damage than also just the animals. I mean, I'm here to represent the marmosets and whatever primate in the pet trade. But the people side of things cuts me up also. It's not right. Laws need to change. They must change. Must change.
Kush is blissfully unaware of the upset as she eats her waxworms and starts building a nest, while Alison begins the short journey back to the park in Dorset. The park is home to 5 squirrel monkeys, split into 2 separate groups. 3 common squirrel monkeys who were rescued together from appalling conditions at a house in Bridgewater, Somerset, called Logan, Lucille and Lopez, and a smaller group consisting of the most recent arrival, common squirrel monkey Kimbo, who was rescued last year from the pet trade, and female black-capped Nueve. Kimbo's lack of social skills and the unlikelihood of the established males accepting him meant plans to integrate him with the trio from Somerset were put on hold. But he did get on well with Nueve, so the pair have been separated off to form their own little subgroup. Today, the twosome are being given one of their favourite meals, live insects. But primate care staff member Karen plans to make them work for it.
So this isn't going to be an easy meal for them, which is what enrichment is about, really. It's trying to make them work for their food. It keeps them active, it makes their brains work, because they have to figure out how to get it, but then also their bodies have to work harder because they have to figure out a way to get to it and then actually get to it.
The insects are hiding in sawdust, and Karen's concealing them in a large hanging puzzle.
So this, when it's hung down, actually quite low. So some of the high ones, they'll come down from the top, they'll use their feet to grip onto and kind of slide down a little bit, stick their hands through. Some of the lower ones they may be able to get to from here. They might come from the sides. So they can come from all different angles. There's branching kind of all around it to give them options. But it'll be interesting to see whether the 2 different monkeys approach it differently or they approach it the same. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see how they tackle it, really.
Karen fills the puzzle with a mix of locusts and something a bit different, Morio worms.
They don't get these guys very often. These are a bit of a treat. These are Morio worms, so they're nice and big and fat and juicy. When you pick them up, they try and like curl around and try and bite you. So yeah, we obviously wear gloves anyway when we're handling food for the primates, but I wouldn't want to touch these without gloves on because they can give a little nip.
Kimbo and Nueve are let out, and the insect puzzle immediately grabs their attention. The holes are the perfect size for their hands and arms to reach through, but locating the insects amongst the sawdust is a challenge, both physically and mentally, and tests their hand-eye coordination. The locusts are first on the menu. They're big and visible, although they do move quickly. Squirrel monkeys, however, are experts at hunting for insects. Their small hands are just like humans, adept at grasping small objects. Nueve prefers to hunt and take her quarry away to eat. Kimbo, on the other hand, can't get enough of the tasty grubs and is happy to gorge in situ. Squirrel monkeys are extremely agile. They don't have a prehensile tail like some other South American primates, but do have a powerful grip that lets them hang upside down when searching for food. It doesn't take long for the pair to master the puzzle and devour most of the grubs, eating in harmony with no friction, and happily sharing the tasty mealtime. Following a 60-mile journey from Bristol, Alison has arrived back at Monkey World with Kush the marmoset, safely in her travel box.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. How is she?
Angry at me. She's grumpy. She's got quite an attitude on her. She's a bit overweight with a little bit of boobs, and a little bit, you know how like Ty is a bit squished? I think like her back is rickets, but she moves just fine.
Primate care staff member Elle is on hand to greet them.
Ooh, sassy.
She's already prepped a bedroom at the domestic marmoset house, ready for Kush to spend her first night in her new home. Despite being a little overweight and showing early signs of rickets, Kush appears in reasonable health. Her owner Dean had done his best to care for her.
He was actually very good and proactive, knowing that she needs companionship, an appropriate environment, a good vet, more love and attention than he's able to give. He was heartbroken.
Before heading to the bedrooms, the team take the opportunity to weigh Kush in the box.
2.98.
Alison and Elle are hoping to pair up the new arrival with Mozzie, a male marmoset who arrived last year.
Right, darling, I know. Let's go get you in.
He's in a bedroom next door. For the first couple of days, the prospective partners will be able to see and hear each other without any physical contact.
Come on, Kushti.
Elle opens up the travel box, but Kush takes her time. Then, out she comes, heading up high.
Good girl.
Unsurprisingly, she's a bit shell-shocked. Kush has spent 9 years in one place, and now it's all change. She's in a new space surrounded by lots of different smells and some noisy marmoset neighbours.
She's a newbie, it's a new environment, I'm a new face. I know she's been very close to a male human, so perhaps a female human she's not too fond of, so we'll have to build a friendship because I'm the one that's going to be looking after her quite a lot. But it won't be hard. She's a bit of a chubby girl, so she likes the food, and if food is the way to her heart, then that's the way I'll go forward.
So the next 48 hours will be all about getting to know Kush and earning her trust. Then introducing her to a new male companion and, fingers crossed, partner for life. Next time on Monkey Life, Gibbons, Sam and Sasak move out, while the maintenance team move in to give their enclosure a makeover. But Sam is less than enthusiastic.
Come on, Sam. Is he moving at all?
Nope.
Don't think he would.
And Capuchin Donny takes over as alpha male of his group, having proved a hit with the ladies. Today on Monkey Life, Gibbons, Sam and Sasak move out, while the maintenance team move in to give their enclosure a makeover. But Sam is less than enthusiastic.
Come on, Sam. Is he moving at all?
Nope.
Don't think he would.
Rehomed pet trade marmoset Kush is in need of a companion, and the team are hoping for a love match.
Plans are going to be an intro with Machino, the male that's living next door, who's single and ready to mingle.
And Capuchin Donny takes over as alpha male of his group, having proved a hit with the ladies. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
The owners are going to be upset to say goodbye, but they're doing the right thing.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. There are 18 gibbons from 5 different species living at Monkey World. The majority are at the main gibbon house, but 3 established pairs have their own large tree-filled enclosures where they can move through the canopy as they would in the wild. One of those pairs, Siamang gibbons Sam and Sasak, have been together for 12 years. Sasak arrived from Dublin Zoo to join Sam after the sad loss of his partner and later his son. They've been a devoted couple ever since, but today their settled existence is going to be disrupted. Their house and enclosure both need extensive renovation, which means the Siamangs have to move out while the maintenance team move in.
We're going to box the Siamangs up individually. They have been being crate trained for the past 2 months in the hope that they're going to willingly walk into the box. Fingers crossed.
Sam and Sasak are off to temporary accommodation consisting of 2 bedrooms and a cage enclosure at the main gibbon house. It's a very different space to the one they're used to, but there's plenty to keep them busy and interested.
We'll have all of our 5 species of gibbon that we have at the park in one location. So especially when everyone starts singing, it might be a bit of a culture shock to Sam and Sasak, but being the loudest of all the gibbon species, they'll certainly give everyone else a run for their money.
Right, come on, muscles. Yeah.
The team are going to crate up the Siamangs one at a time. Sarah has them ready in the outside tunnel system linking the house and enclosure.
They know that something is up because this is now a change in routine, whereas we'd usually just release them straight to the enclosure, so this will be an interesting step.
Primate care staff members Lee and Kat have secured the first of the transport crates to the tunnel.
We're good? Secure?
Sam is up first.
He's a good lad, you're going in.
Come on, Sam.
But he's reluctant.
Is he moving at all?
Nope.
Didn't think he would.
And keeping his distance.
Go on.
Despite all the crate training and the offer of tasty titbits, he's not budging.
Samuel, I've got treats.
Time for Plan B.
We're committed now. We've got to see this through. We've got to get it done.
Lee has a specially designed piece of equipment that fits into the tunnel and blocks off any escape route. It means Sam can only move in one direction, towards the crate.
Sam, come here. Come on, come on, come on. Go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
And
nice.
It works.
Keep going. Right, we're in.
Well done.
Good boy, Sam. Good boy, buddy. Here, have some banana.
With Sam safely in the travel crate, the team move him away from the enclosure, ready to be transported to the main gibbon house.
Next step is Sass. She's just witnessed all of that. Great.
Come on, Sass,
let's go. Come on, baby girl.
Separated from her partner, Sasak is suspicious and unwilling to cooperate.
Come on, Sass.
No amount of persuasion will convince her to go anywhere near the crate.
Sass is still in the top. She's not coming down.
The team don't want to overstress her, so decide to give Sasak a chance to calm down while they move Sam to the temporary bedroom in the main gibbon house.
Obviously, the longer they're in the box, the more stressed they're going to get. So we'll just try and get him comfortable inside the house, and then we'll go back and we'll try again with Sass.
With so many primates to feed, the park welcomes donations from generous local businesses and the public. And today, a contribution of large sunflower heads has arrived. Primate care staff member Elle has decided the beneficiaries will be the park's 2 patas monkeys.
So Mr. P and Penelope, they've never seen sunflower heads before, and they're absolutely packed full of seeds. The seeds contain vitamin E, which is a really important vitamin, especially for eyesight, which is something we know that Penelope struggles with. She's got a cataract in her right eye. So with her elderly age, this will be a benefit to her vitamin-wise as well.
There's an estimated 10-year age gap between the 2. Mr. P is the younger, but they're both mobile. Despite this, Elle still has her reservations.
I don't know how Mr. P and Penelope are going to do with this, to be honest. It's going to be interesting for me to see as well. We've put some of them higher up, some of them lower to the ground. They've got small little nimble fingers, so they should be able to pick the seeds out of the heads pretty well. And like I said, their mobility is all right, especially Penelope for the age that she's at.
Elle lets the pair out.
Hi.
Despite being African savanna ground dwellers who would eat seeds in the wild, they're not impressed. They're not the most adventurous primates at the park, and being captive animals, they know food will be provided. But Mr. P and Penelope haven't worked out yet. This is it.
If I was placing bets, I would have lost all my money by now because neither of them have figured it out yet. It might take them a while. Hopefully, if one of them does it, the other one will catch on. Otherwise, it's just a bit of a waiting game.
The pair arrived at Monkey World in 2021 from Borth Zoo in North Wales. Then, Penelope was more dominant, but their roles have reversed, and Mr. P is now in charge, as it would be in the wild. The cataract in Penelope's right eye, along with her age, probably contributed.
We're pretty sure she's got no vision in it, but her left eye at the minute is looking all okay. We've had to make some few changes, so some easier ladders to help her climb up in the enclosures, both inside and outside. At the minute, she's still at the point where she can forage and find the food on the floor, but for the future, it is just something that we'll have to keep on monitoring.
Despite her condition, Penelope has finally realised there is food to be found in the strange objects hanging in the enclosure, and starts picking her way through the seeds. It's a good indicator for the team that she still sees well enough with her left eye. Mr. P, having watched Penelope's efforts, also takes a closer look at the sunflower heads. But neither patas monkeys are enthusiastic about the unusual offering.
Overall, the sunflower heads weren't as exciting as what we thought they were going to be. It might be that we leave them in for a couple of days and they show a bit more interest. Penelope has gone over to one. She gave it a little bit of a tap, knocked some seeds out and ate a couple. That caught the attention of Mr. P. I think he even had a little bit of a tap, but yeah, overall, not as interested as I thought they would be.
Elle will leave the sunflower heads out for the next few days. If the patas pair don't eat the seeds, then the wild birds surely will. There are 3 groups of orangutans at the park. Gordon's trio, which includes the big male's mum Amy, the first ever orangutan at Monkey World, and another female, Xiao Lan. Then there's the nursery group of 6, led by female O'Sheen. It was set up to care for orphaned and rejected youngsters from centres across Europe. And finally, there's Tuan's troop, most of whom were rehomed from the Pingtung Rescue Centre in Taiwan. They were stolen from the wild and led traumatic lives as pets or as part of the entertainment industry. Along with Tuan, there are 3 adult females, Ame, Lucky, and Roro. The 5th member of the group is 11-year-old Awan. She was born at the park, and although still an adolescent, will soon reach adulthood. Until a few months ago, there were 6 in the troop. Then, fun-loving youngster Hujan left to join the nursery to live with others of a similar age. The move left a hole in the lives of some of Tuan's troop.
The dynamics have changed a little bit, obviously, with Hujan out of the group, but I mean, the last couple of weeks they all seem to be getting on quite relaxed and lovely. And in fact, the other day, Roro actually started to groom Ame a lot, and they've been spending a lot of time together up in their corner. And Hujan has still been coming up to the fence line from the nursery and kind of having a little look across, but not really any sad looks or anything. They're just kind of getting on with things, playing, and the group are doing pretty well, to be honest, at the moment.
Before Hujan came to the park in 2019, adult females Roro and the more dominant Lucky didn't get on. Their relationship disintegrated to a point where they were kept apart, taking it in turns to use the outside enclosure. But little Hujan's arrival changed all that. Roro quickly adopted him, and as her confidence increased, her standing within the group soared too. The group was reunited, and Lucky and Roro managed to rub along together. But with Hujan settled in the nursery across the way, the care team were concerned the animosity between the two females could reignite. They've been surprised and delighted as, so far, Roro seems to be standing her ground.
She seems, since Hujan left, to have kept that confidence, so she still is the top dog, top woman in this group. Tuan's still certainly defending her if any of the other girls ever give her any hassle or anything like that. So she's kept her confidence, she's doing really well, and I'm really quite proud of what she's gone through, really.
The youngest female in the group, Awan, has always been fun-loving and gregarious, but she's growing up fast, and the adults aren't as tolerant of her antics as they once were.
She's actually grown up to be quite a tough little cookie, a very well-rounded orangutan. But now she's kind of lost that baby status in the group, so she doesn't necessarily get away with everything that she used to. She certainly tries it on, and she certainly does get a little bit more of a chase now and again than she used to, with a little bit more fury involved, if you like. But it'll be a very exciting time to see how Aang goes in these sort of teenage to adult sort of years that are ahead of us, I guess. So yeah, very interesting time.
In the wild, orangutans lead more solitary lives than captive groups, so although Tuan and his ladies appear settled for now, who knows what the future has in store. Across the park at the Siamangs, with Sam safely indoors at the main Gibbon house,
Go. Move.
the team have returned to the Gibbon support building to convince his partner Sasak to join him, so they can be quickly reunited. She's proving reluctant, so the team have given her a short break.
Come on, Sas.
The timeout works. This time, Sasak is persuaded into the box and loaded up to be taken straight to the main Gibbon house.
Get in the driving seat.
Happy they're all in. It was a little bit stressful getting them there.
There she is.
Where the team quickly reunite the pair.
Hi.
Putting pairs back together after a stressful event can be difficult, but the team knows Sam and Sasak are so bonded they'll give each other comfort. And it's only a matter of minutes before they're settled, and Sarah can open up the slide to give them access to the outdoor area.
And then pop it.
This time, the two Siamangs don't hold back.
Yes, Sas. That didn't take long. That wasn't too bad. A little bit nervous, but yeah, curiosity got the better of them.
They're soon outside, exploring and getting accustomed to their new neighbours. The move has been a success, and the team can now get to work renovating the Siamang's house and enclosure. The job will take several months, and while they wait, Sam and Sasak will have a new world to interest them, and more noisy neighbours to compete with in the singing stakes. Someone else having to get used to a new environment is female marmoset Kush. It's less than 48 hours since Alison collected her from Bristol. She was in need of a new home and, most importantly, companionship of her own kind. The last 2 days have been a very different experience for the new arrival, but she's coped well.
She's gone from what she knows as home into this huge space and environment. We've got 15 other individuals that she's got to get used to, making the loud bangs and contact calls. So yeah, she's settling down nicely. I think she's just still in the phase of just getting familiar with everything.
For a pet trade marmoset, Kush is reasonably healthy, and at 340 grams, quite a big girl. She's had a therapeutic dose of vitamin D3 and will continue to receive supplements to help strengthen her bones. Today is another big step in her new life. She's about to meet a possible forever companion.
So the next plans are going to be an intro with Machino, the male that's living next door, who's single and ready to mingle. Machino definitely knows she's there. He can smell her, he can see her, but he's playing it cool.
To gauge their reaction to each other, the team are beginning by giving the pair just mesh contact.
She looks sort of relaxed.
If that's positive, they'll progress to opening the bedrooms fully and letting the two marmosets meet face to face. Kush is first given access to the bedroom immediately next door to Mozzie. But she's in no rush to see her potential new partner.
She at least put her head through.
It takes several attempts for her to pluck up the courage.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe.
At last, she's in, but ignoring Mozzie. Instead, she checks out everything else.
Kush has come through. She seems really calm. She's scent marking, sniffing what's Mozzie's bed. Little bit concerned that Mozzie will get a little too wound up if she continues to sort of not blank him, but not interact with him a bit more. But she's looking at him and taking her time, so she definitely knows that he's there and vice versa.
Once Kush has had a feed, she finally approaches the mesh to take a closer look at Mozzie. All the signs are positive. So Alison and Elle decide it's time for the pair to meet face to face.
We've gone ahead and opened up. Neither of them seem to have really interacted with each other, so we just have to give it time and wait and see how it plays out. But I'd like to see them either groom or face-to-face, a little bit of interaction.
And Alison gets her wish as the pair become more confident and cozy up in a basket together for some mutual grooming. Always a good sign they're happy in each other's company.
Really good right now, and we just have to hope that it continues. But she's still intent on telling us that this is her man. They've been in bed together, grooming, and at the same time, little happy whistly chirps. So just have to hope it continues.
It's early days, but all the signs are favourable that this partnership could be a happy one. It's a beautiful sunny day, and down at the Capuchin complex, one group are making the most of their wonderful outdoor enclosure. It's been designed to give the Capuchins everything they need, with tall climbing frames and walkways, and lots of natural planting providing shade and shelter, as well as a perfect habitat for wildlife, something this group love.
They spend most of their day just foraging for the insects that just naturally appear. You'll see them digging up the grass and overturning the turf to get to things like the woodlouse and the worms. They'll go along the fence line or underneath the platforms and get all the spiders. And we're also really lucky that we've got things like buddleia in their enclosures that naturally attract a lot of other flying insects as well, and so they love catching those. It's a very natural behaviour. It's exactly what they would be doing out in the wild. So it's really nice to be able to see them doing that all through the summer.
Hunting for insects may be natural behaviour for wild capuchins, but all of this group, bar one, were born in a Chilean laboratory.
We do actually have one individual, Mary, that was originally came from the wild, so she has experienced that, but all of the others would have been born in the lab and never seen it. And the fact that they're still here exhibiting those behaviours, they've obviously learnt that from the others in their groups, but also, you know, it's just natural instinct for them to do that. But they need this to be able to demonstrate that.
In the wild, capuchins forage for insects around 70% of the day and have a precision grip. At the park, they're not always as successful. Known as the Fluffies, due to the majority still having their baby fur when they were first put together as a group in 2008, this troop are very different from the mixed-age capuchin groups at the park. They've all grown up together and are a playful, sometimes volatile unit.
Yes, some of these individuals that are in Donny's group were just sort of 1 or 2 years old when they arrived here. So now they're sort of like 17, 18, which is, they're in their prime really. And that's why we've seen so much change. At the beginning, they were just young, inquisitive, couldn't care less about the hierarchy, whereas now actually they're wanting that. They're wanting the responsibility and to move up the hierarchy. And it's really interesting to see them all change and get to that point together.
It's led to something of an upheaval in the last few months. Not only have these capuchins had to contend with moving house, they also have a new leader, and it's a huge surprise to everyone.
Donny has taken over as dominant male of the group. Completely unexpected. When they ousted Franco, you know, all the guesses were out as to who was going to take over. And actually, for all of us, Donny was at the bottom of the list. We were like, no, no way he's going to take it. And yeah, he's just, all the girls have favoured him. All the others gave it a go. Felipe gave it a go, William, Fabian, who all of the females really dislike. And they've chosen Donny. So, yeah, he's not a great dominant male in terms of disciplining the other individuals within the group. But for the most part, the group is fairly settled.
Even Donny seems surprised with his newfound status. But it certainly helps having the backing of the females like Digit and Fiona. Quick to tell challengers like Fabian to back off. So for now, they're not just known as the Fluffies, they're also called Donny's Group. But whether that will last is anyone's guess. Next time on Monkey Life. Saki monkey Desmond loses his lady, Chloe, who is the oldest saki in Europe.
We just came in the morning and she'd passed on her blankets in her bed, which was very, very sad, so you can't wish for a better ending than that.
And a fruity treat helps Gibbons Peanut and Pung-Yo reaffirm their pair bond. Today on Monkey Life, Sonny the Capuchin is ousted as leader, despite being a hit with the ladies.
The girls still quite favour Sonny, but Franco is definitely more dominant and he's definitely the one who's taking the group.
Saki monkey Desmond loses his lady, longtime partner Chloe.
We just came in the morning and she'd passed on her blankets in her bed, which was very, very sad, so you can't wish for a better ending than that.
And a fruity treat helps Gibbons Peanut and Pung-Yo reaffirm their pair bond. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's going to work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. It's all change again for the Capuchins. Sonny, one of the group's established leaders, has been ousted as top man by rival Franco. The coup has caused tension within the troop, and now for his own safety and welfare, Sonny needs to move. He's heading to a new home with Erico's troop.
Franco has become dominant and it's causing quite a bit of friction and confusion between the girls because the girls still quite favour Sonny, but Franco is definitely more dominant and he's definitely the one who's taking the group. We did hope that Sonny would kind of just sink down in the hierarchy and kind of be content with not having to deal with the stresses of being dominant. But unfortunately, because the girls kept wanting Sonny as their male, it just caused too much problems between him and Franco. So hopefully he'll be a little bit better off now that he doesn't have to worry so much about the social dynamics and keeping the group in check. But yeah, we're hoping that this will actually be a bit of a better spot for him.
The move back to the Capuchin complex won't be a new experience for Sonny. Up until 7 months ago, when his group moved to the lodge, he'd lived there for the majority of his time at the park. Now he's on his way back. But at least the setup will be familiar and he's already acquainted with some of the monkeys there.
Good job. Have we got a blanket? Sheets of some kind to go over the top?
The house has a handy removable travel crate built into the tunnel system.
He's all in the crate and ready to go. Sarah's just crated him, so we do this training with them regularly, so they're quite used to popping into crates.
Sonny is ready to go, and once the crate is fully secured...
Good boy. Right, toes, toes, toes.
It's a short journey to the Capuchin complex.
Hi! Does this place look familiar?
Sonny's released into a bedroom with a variety of tasty foods to keep him distracted and help him settle. His arrival piques a lot of interest. Sonny won't be on his own for long. Katie has a friend already lined up for company.
So we've got Caesar separate already, just over on the other side of the bedroom. So we're going to go straight ahead and give Sonny a friend. So they're such social animals. We just want to get someone in with him as quickly as possible. We don't want him sat here on his own. And Caesar's just one of the low-ranking boys. He's quite a calm individual. We're hoping that he'll be quite a nice, easy one to introduce Sonny to and that they'll get along easily. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cool. Ready? Ready.
Caesar is let into the bedroom next door.
Who's that, Sonny?
They won't be kept apart for long.
Generally, we find with Capuchin introductions, actually having mesh between them can be a bit of an aggravating factor. Capuchins quite often will shout at each other through the mesh. They're very conscious that they can't have full contact, so they'll just kind of take that opportunity to have a good shout and a scream. So we find that having mesh contact in intros actually makes it a little bit more tense between them, so we tend to just open up as quickly as possible and just see how it goes. Ready?
The slide is opened and Caesar goes straight in to join Sonny.
Nice.
A scatter of mealworms keeps them distracted, and there's no sign of any friction between the two.
Yeah, they just went right next to each other. Caesar kind of glanced at him and was a little bit unsure, but yeah, that's fine. They're both happily foraging for worms now, so all in all, that's not positive.
The two boys seem relaxed in each other's company. They'll spend a few days together before Sonny gets to meet the rest of Erico's troop and hopefully find his place within the group. The autumn season brings changes for the park and its primate residents. And the colder, wetter days can be challenging for the care staff too. Their aim is to keep the animals in their charge busy and active whatever the weather. So today, at Brian's chimpanzee group, lunchtime will be both seasonal and warming.
I know, Nari, I know. You're incredibly impatient.
Sean has some hot roasted pumpkins, and he's serving them up indoors to combat the miserable day outside. He's scattering the large orange fruits all around the chimp's indoor playroom.
It's this time of year where we've just had a load of pumpkin donations just after Halloween, and you know, the chimps aren't the biggest fans of them usually, but we don't want to be ungrateful and wasteful, so we've just taken a load, cooked them all up, and we're just chucking a load in with Brian's and see what they make of them. Even if they don't eat them, I'm sure they'll have fun smearing them around and making a mess of the place for me to clean up after, but yeah, they're making a fair bit of noise for it, so I think they're excited. Lulu!
The chimps can't wait.
You're in the lead, Nari. All right. Ready?
As soon as Sean opens up, the eager group race through the tunnel to the playroom. Food can be a source of squabbles amongst chimps, but feeding alongside each other can also bring them together. Today, there are more than enough pumpkins to go round, so quarrels should be minimal. The chimps don't usually have large amounts of fruit in their diet because of the high sugar content. This bunch aren't always enthusiastic about pumpkins, but roasting brings out the sweetness, and they're warm too, so they should prove popular. Roasting the fruits also softens the flesh, which makes it perfect for chimps like Nari and, previously, Brian, who had their teeth knocked out when they were young and cruelly treated in the entertainment industry. Nari can only use her gums to chew, but has adapted her way of eating.
Yeah, this will definitely make a world of difference to her. So yeah, she'll just quite happily gum through this nice and softly and end up getting rounder, because even though she doesn't have any teeth, she's not exactly the skinniest chimp in the world, so she certainly does well with all the raw food she gets.
Brian lost his teeth when he was abused as a beach photographer's prop in Mexico. Fortunately for him, they were baby teeth, and following life-changing surgery at the park, his adult teeth grew through. Rodders and Ash were both born at the park and have a full set of healthy teeth. Today, they're putting them to good use. Lulu has a different disability, but one she too has overcome. She lost her arm as a youngster when her mother bit it and the limb became infected, but she's adapted well. To compensate for the chilly weather, she takes a blanket outside, along with a lunch of pumpkins and leeks, nimbly climbing a pole with her one arm and feet to eat in peace. The newest member of the group is Kangu. He arrived along with his mum Sacha from Buenos Aires Zoo in Argentina last year. Following fraught and lengthy attempts at introductions, the pair were separated and are now settling in their respective groups. Sacha now lives at Bart's and has made some close friends. Her son Kangu is well established with his new family and has become really close to leader Brian. Wherever he goes, Kangu can be found close by. His support has given Brian more confidence as leader too. Kangu has also developed a friendly, playful relationship with Rodders, who can be tricky. With the weather brightening, more of the group have taken their pumpkins outside. The roasted fruits have been a success, leaving them happy and satiated in the sunshine. The staff at the park do all they can for every primate resident in their care. One of their top priorities is finding the animals companionship of their own kind. So it was a huge blow last week when saki monkey Desmond lost the mate whose company he cherished. The team discovered his long-term partner Chloe had passed away overnight in her sleep. Chloe was 30 and the oldest saki monkey in Europe.
She was a really old lady. She did so well. Sakis are meant to get to 20, maybe 25 years old. Chloe was 30. She was due to turn 31 in a couple of months, which is incredible. And of all the ways to go, she passed peacefully in her sleep. She was just a bit quiet, a bit slow for a few days, nothing major wrong, no big symptoms, no suffering. And we just came in the morning and she'd passed on her blanket in her bed, which, while very, very sad, so you can't wish for a better ending than that.
Chloe originally came to the park in 2016 as a friend for Jethro, an eccentric geriatric male. When he died, Desmond arrived to keep Chloe company. It was love at first sight, and the pair became devoted to each other. With no other saki monkeys at the park, Chloe's death means Desmond has lost companionship of his own kind, as well as his best friend.
So it is a big change, and Desmond and Chloe were such a lovely pair bond. He was very tolerant of her as she was getting older, and she would just sort of wander up to him and just sort of take a monkey nut out of his mouth and things, and he would kind of let that slide and was very patient with her. They'd spend a lot of time sunbathing out in the outside enclosure together, lots of time grooming and things. So it's just a challenge now for the primate care staff to keep Desmond entertained in other ways, to make sure that he's not, sitting around and moping, and he's busy and active and doing stuff.
Fortunately, he's not completely alone. Chloe and Desmond shared their home with Loki, a common marmoset, who seems incapable of making friends with other marmosets. But he's happy to tolerate saki monkeys and doesn't object to having Desmond around. Today, Steph's giving them a selection of nuts and seeds in feeders and balls, designed to pique Desmond's interest.
To keep him entertained and to keep him busy, we've been giving him lots of enrichment, which he never really cared about before. When Chloe was around, he couldn't be bothered with that because he was just sort of distracted with a female. But ever since that we've lost her, we're noticing that anything new we put in the enclosure, he gets really interested in. So today we've got some ball pit balls stuffed with some straw, with some nuts and some waxworms in. We've got the same with little kaplunk tubes, and we've got a couple of hanging bug feeders as well that will hang up, and hopefully the worms will drop out the bottom and Desmond will help manipulate them to get the bugs out. And we just like offering him anything and everything at the moment just to keep him busy. Right then, boys. You wanna come and see? Go and have a look.
Loki leads the way,
Good boy, Pokey.
but it's Desmond who reaches for the prize first.
Good boy, Desmond.
Taking it to a high platform to get a better look. Sakis have long, skinny fingers, so rummaging through the feeder to see what's inside is easy, and he's soon picking out the nuts and seeds. Loki takes a cursory look at one of the seed balls, but he spotted something much more to his liking in the other bedroom. The tasty waxworms he adores. Desmond's happy to tackle Loki's rejected feeder ball, fully embracing the day's challenge.
I think Desmond previously didn't really bother with enrichment and things that we would put in the enclosure. I think because a lot of his time was made up with looking after Chloe. Especially the last few years, he knew she was slowing down a bit and he was very protective, so if she hadn't come in yet, he wouldn't come in yet either, and if she'd gone to bed, he had to go to bed as well, and things like that. So it's actually quite nice seeing him actually using his brain and engaging in things a little bit, because we're supposed to be able to challenge these. They're supposed to be intelligent primates, so it's nice to see them actually doing that.
Desmond and Loki don't groom each other or interact much, but it's good for them both to have easygoing company. However, at 15 years old, Desmond is still young and needs the company of his own kind sometime in the future.
We're hopeful that maybe we might be able to find him another companion. I think Alison's putting feelers out to see if that's a possibility, and it would be nice to bring another Saki monkey in for company again. But for the meantime, we'll focus on keeping him busy and active, and at least he's got sort of Loki as a bit of company.
One of the park's longest loved-up couples are golden-cheeked gibbon pair Peanut and Pung-Yo. They've been together for nearly 20 years and enjoy their wonderful tree-filled enclosure to the limit. Today, they're being given an unusual seasonal treat, medlar fruit complete with browse. Sarah is putting the distinctive fruit all around the outdoor enclosure, including some up high in a pulley feeder, to encourage the kind of feeding behaviour seen naturally in the wild.
The medlar fruit is rich in amino acids and lots of vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin B1, vitamin A, really good for their immune system, very important as we're coming into the winter months with these guys. Peanut and Pung-Yo, getting older in years, so we do have to keep an eye on their diet and their immune system.
The pair have had 3 offspring during their time together, although their relationship hasn't always been harmonious. But they've grown closer again in recent years.
Since the kids moved out, Peanut and Pung-Yo have become a lot more calmer and gentler with each other. You see a lot more grooming sessions, and adding this nice natural enrichment might just help strengthen their bond even further. I mean, Peanut and Pung-Yo, they've got a pretty good appetite, so I think this will be a winner.
Female Peanut is let out first and immediately makes a beeline for the hanging feeder. She loves her food and wastes no time tucking into the fruit, hanging by one arm and using her other to feed. Gibbons are well adapted to feeding high up in the tree canopy. Their shoulders, hands and wrists enable them to hang effortlessly for long periods of time while they eat. Pung-Yo has selected an easier option below and is relishing the fruit. He's a vigilant male and keeps an eye on his surroundings to ensure there are no threats and everything is safe. The medlar fruits are full of seeds and are very fibrous. Those yet to ripen contain only low levels of sugar, meaning the primates can eat them in abundance. All the animals at the park have carefully controlled, balanced diets. Commercial shop-bought fruit is high in sugar content, so is a limited part of their diet. The pair have had their fill, but the medlar fruit will be left in situ for Peanut and Pung-Yo to come back and enjoy over the next few days. Breakfast over, the devoted pair reaffirm their bonds with a grooming session. The colder weather at the park affects all the animals, but the smaller primates are often more susceptible to the chill than their larger counterparts. However, it's still important for the care staff to keep them active and occupied. Today, with the sun out, Steph is planning to help 3 of the park's squirrel monkeys make the most of the warmer temperatures. She's amassed a collection of different squashes, of various sizes and colour. Inside, she's hidden lots of wriggly grubs, something the 3 squirrel monkeys love to eat.
So these sort of chillier mornings, the monkeys can be a little bit less keen on going out into the great outdoors. So this should hopefully get them up and interested and outside. When it's really, really cold, we don't push it too much because obviously we want them to be warm. But daylight today, it's actually reasonably mild. So I'm hoping that we can get them up and active because being active and being busy and investigating things in the outside enclosure is really good for them.
It's important to replicate natural feeding behaviours. So Steph has strung up some of the squashes on branches and attached others to the hosing high off the ground.
These guys spend their lifetimes in the treetops, so it's important for us to hang up the food high. We encourage them to sort of stretch and use their bodies, use their lovely long tails for balance as they sort of reach out and try and get the food. And that's just really important to get them physically active, using all of their bodies and using their brains.
The trio are let out, with Lucille leading the way. They're a bit cautious at first, unaware there are tasty grubs to be found if they look hard enough. They'd better be quick though. The local bird life are also eyeing up the wriggly worms. Logan works it out first, prompting the others to follow suit. Sparking a feeding frenzy. They can't get enough of the tasty grubs. Some of the squashes are definitely easier to reach than others. Some can only be accessed by reaching down. Others by reaching up. Testing the squirrel monkey's agility.
So squirrel monkeys have a high percentage of insects in their diet, but they're quite opportunistic, so they'll eat anything they come across, really. So fruits and nuts and seeds and anything like that. They'll also occasionally hunt very small animal prey as well, things like small rodents, small birds. They're basically little gannets, and they'll eat anything and everything. But the insects is definitely the #1 priority for the squirrels, is that's their favourite thing to eat.
It helps to be an expert at tightrope walking to reach all the bounty. Logan is the heaviest of the 3 and has also lost part of his tail, which might affect him when using it as a counterbalance. Lopez also has a disadvantage. He lost an eye before coming to the park, so his depth perception isn't as good as his housemates. But he's adapted incredibly well and is thriving at the park. By displaying such natural behaviours, the 3 squirrel monkeys demonstrate they've come a long way from their arrival at the park 7 years ago. They were rescued from appalling conditions at a house in Somerset and were emaciated and frightened with a number of health issues. But thanks to the dedication of the primate care staff, they're now a fit and healthy trio who love being outdoors. Next time on Monkey Life. Serious concerns over the health of Sylvie, one of the park's last remaining stumpies.
She's nice and steady. Well, no, shall we just get a lateral x-ray now?
And we've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Erico's capuchins compete for a tropical treat. Today on Monkey Life, serious concerns over the health of Sylvie, one of the park's last remaining stumpies.
She's nice and steady. Oh no, shall we just get a lateral x-ray now?
Argentine chimp Sacha and alpha male Bart try to move their relationship along with mixed results.
Scared of you, Bart?
And we've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Erico's capuchins compete for a tropical treat. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
Boxes secured into place, everything's good.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. The number of stump-tailed macaques at the park has dwindled due to old age and poor health. There are now only 3 remaining: 2 boys, Toto and Freddie, and the last surviving female, Sylvie. The group has experienced a lot of upheaval recently, and now there are serious concerns about Sylvie's health. It's a worrying time for the Stumpy's carers.
Unfortunately, we've just had a crushing couple of years for the Stumpy Treat, where they've lost most of their members and we're now down to 3. Sylvie's had to contend with being the only female and 2 boys, and which one does she back? And there's been a lot of sort of tension and things, but the group has settled down now a lot.
The remaining trio appear to have finally sorted out who's in charge, and it's Sylvie who's making decisions, leaving Freddie at the bottom of the pile, although he still has a close bond with Toto.
Sylvie is a madam. As soon as you walk in the house, she will let you know she needs feeding and she needs feeding now, please. She's quite a political lady. She's been waiting for an opportunity to be a high-ranking female for years. So with the passing of Noreen and Kelly being the head girl, the only girl, no competition with the ladies, she's delighted with that. And she really is very, very fond of Toto. Actually, when they bed down together, they normally bed down cuddled up together. They have a really sort of sweet relationship and he loves her very much.
But Sylvie has been experiencing medical issues for some time, including dramatic changes in her weight. A previous thorough veterinary examination didn't find anything untoward. But in recent weeks, her health has once again become a cause for concern.
She's got liquid diarrhoea quite frequently. She's got a great big bloated belly. She looks quite uncomfortable. So we're really keen to see what exactly is causing all of that. You know, best case scenario, we find maybe some inflammation of the gut, maybe something easy that we can treat or at least settle down with the right combination of medications. Worst case scenario, maybe we're looking at some sort of cancer or a tumour or a blockage within the gut somewhere. You just never know, but you have to prepare yourself just in case it's something sinister.
Local vet David Holler has arrived to give Sylvie an all-over checkup. While he prepares, primate care staff member Elle gives her a pre-med to make her drowsy, in preparation for an anaesthetic before the trip to the park's hospital. The team are perplexed by Sylvie's medical issues and lack of response to their efforts to treat her. They've tried everything from supplements and medication, and even a change of diet, but nothing has worked. David will need to give Sylvie an extensive examination.
Our plan is to get some x-rays and get the ultrasound machine on her and have a good look inside her.
Yep.
The pre-med and anaesthetic have done their job.
Yeah, she's plenty asleep enough at the moment, I think.
As an anxious team watch on, David checks the Stumpy's abdomen for anything sinister.
She's nice and steady. Oh no, shall we just get a lateral x-ray now?
The team prepare to take some x-rays. It's a useful piece of on-site equipment and means David can get almost instant images.
Hips don't look too bad.
But nothing seriously wrong stands out. David moves on to check inside Sylvie's mouth for any damage in case she has a dental issue.
Teeth are okay. There's one which was broken, but the little part looks solid and there's nothing inflamed, so...
There's still no indication of what might be causing Sylvie's symptoms.
Okay, thank you.
An ultrasound might reveal more.
Some calcification of the bile ducts around the gallbladder. I don't think we're talking about a heart-related issue. Lights on there, please.
But again, nothing untoward. David's drawn a blank.
There's nothing obvious on the x-rays or on the scan. I'm reckoning on getting some blood and getting her awake.
He takes blood samples to be sent off to a lab for analysis.
Finally, just get a little sample out in the middle of this lymph node, just while we're here, because that looks bigger than I'm expecting. But...
And a sample of a lymph node in Sylvie's groin. Checks completed, the stumpy is returned to her travel box to recover.
Yeah, don't grab the box on the way in, that's... There we go.
The team are no closer to discovering what's causing Sylvie's health issues, but they won't give up.
It's not normal, and so we will keep looking and see if we can find out what it is. But in a way, good news, we haven't found an obvious tumour, we haven't found anything obvious that we can't treat, so we will keep going and keep looking.
A few days later, the lab results are back, but frustratingly, there are still no answers. For now, Sylvie's medical issues remain a mystery. It's been a few weeks since Siamang gibbons Sam and Sasak moved to a temporary home at the main gibbon house to allow the maintenance team to give their permanent facility a much-needed renovation. Despite the upheaval, the pair have settled in well and are getting used to their unusual neighbours. Today, primate care staff member Sarah is going to give the Siamangs a seasonal treat: rose hips on the stem. She's hanging them up high to encourage canopy feeding, just as they would in the wild.
It's a perfectly natural enrichment item for them. It's seasonal, so hopefully the Siamangs will like them. It'll get them up high. They'll be able to forage nice and naturally. They're not going to miss them. They're nice and colourful.
Along with the brightly coloured fruit, Sarah has added green beans to today's menu. The pair love the outdoors, and as soon as the slide is opened, they head outside. The colourful fruits immediately attract their attention. Sam is first to inspect them. Realising straight away the rose hips are sweet and tasty, he starts to guzzle them up. Sasak soon follows his lead. The rose hips are a good food source, full of antioxidants such as vitamin C. In the wild, fruit and leaves make up a large part of a Siamang's diet, although they also eat insects and flowers. Today's enrichment is a bit different, because the rose hips come with a prickly problem on the stems, and the Siamang's hands are not best suited to help solve it.
So having the elongated fingers and a really short thumb puts their hands in that lovely hook-like position to move through the trees as quickly as they do, but of course they're not as dexterous in being able to manipulate food items and enrichment items and things like that. The rose hips was a really good idea because they are nice rounded shape, so they can sort of pick off the bits that they want and then hopefully avoid the thorns. This is quite a good lesson to learn for the gibbons, of what not to touch and what to touch, because not everything is edible. And I'm sure Sasak found that out today.
The rose hips have proved popular, and the green beans make an excellent second course. The two Siamangs have settled in their temporary home, and to remind everyone this is now their territory, they start singing. The song is the loudest of all gibbon species and can reach up to 90 decibels. Their large throat sacs inflate, amplifying the sound as they perform duets with complex vocal structures. The male and female have their own parts of the song to sing and form a perfect harmony, demonstrating their strong bonds. And letting everyone know Sam and Sasak are in the house. Keeping the primates at the park interested and motivated at mealtimes can be challenging. The primate care staff do their best to liven up the animals' day, but it doesn't always work. A few weeks ago, the park's pair of patas monkeys snubbed an offering of sunflower heads laden with healthy seeds. They showed little interest, leaving the team a bit deflated. But undeterred, today primate care staff member Finn is having another go with a different seasonal offering. Whole pumpkins.
We have carved some holes in them for the patas, just a kind of different way of displaying their food for them in the morning. We've had some lovely pumpkin cooked up, so we've got the insides of a pumpkin here, which has been roasted. We've also got the beautiful carvings and some of their favourite treats, which are the Mario worms, which they absolutely adore, so hopefully it will be an exciting morning for them.
The primate care team take great care over the animals' diet. Food is tailored to each individual's needs and health, whether it's a diabetic chimp like Bart, or a primate missing a few teeth like one of today's recipients, elderly Penelope.
She has had quite a few teeth out now, so we do make sure any food that we do give her is manageable and she can obviously chew on it or consume it. So yeah, it's just a good way of also allowing them to be patas monkeys, but within captivity instead of the wild.
Finn opens up the slide. Mr. P is first out, soon followed by Penelope. Mr. P is younger than his partner and heads straight across to inspect the large fruits, spotting the grubs inside. Penelope is less enthusiastic. She used to be the more dominant of the pair when they first arrived at the park, although in the wild, that's the role of the male. Now, Mr. P tucks in first, and he's certainly enjoying today's breakfast, going from one pumpkin to another. Plucking the grubs and seeds from the pumpkin flesh requires great dexterity and hand-eye coordination. Mr. P has no problem. But Penelope has a cataract in her left eye. Today's enrichment will help the team monitor how well she's managing and how much she can and can't see. No such issue for Mr. P, as he moves on to his third pumpkin. Penelope eventually tries the pumpkins too, eating some of the soft flesh.
I think that Mr. P is definitely enjoying himself. He came running straight out and was definitely curious to all of the new things that have been put up around the enclosure. He's using those foraging skills to look inside of each pumpkin, figure out what's in them first before he chooses which delicacy he would want. Yeah, it's been 10 out of 10 and thumbs up.
Having proved more popular than sunflower heads, the pumpkins will be left for a few days, so the patas can keep enjoying the tasty flesh and seeds. That's if Mr. P doesn't knock them all off first. It's been just over a year since Argentine chimp Sacha arrived from Buenos Aires Zoo, along with her son, Kangu. He's now settled in Brian's small group, but Sacha's integration into one of the park's larger chimpanzee groups has taken longer than expected. Now, at last, she's beginning to embrace life as part of Bart's troop of 16.
She is now in with mostly everyone and she's developing some stronger relationships, hitting a few little bumps in the road with the likes of Chatter and Mickey, who, yeah, just been surprisingly standoffish with her. But fortunately, the longer she's spent with the others, she's building up more alliances. Yeah, she's doing really, really well.
Having had little social interaction with other chimps at the zoo in Argentina, It's taken time for Sacha to fully understand chimp etiquette and the importance of establishing strong alliances. As a result, Bart's troop haven't been together as one since she joined.
If she can't make friends, there's just no place for her in the group. Yeah, she's not going to stand a chance, particularly with this lot. They're just one of the longest groups on the park. They've got such solid relationships. She's going to need them going up against someone like Bart, who is just such the pampered little prince of the group. Like, everyone adores him. If she doesn't have any friends, and he decides to go for her, she's really in a lot of trouble there. So, yeah, no, they're incredibly important for him.
The only chimp Sacha has yet to meet is Gamba, historically something of a troublemaker. She's met group leader Bart briefly in the bedrooms a couple of times, but Sacha didn't really know how to react, and he got frustrated, which cut the introduction short. Today, the team are trying a different tack.
They've not been the love at first sight that we hoped for, to be honest, but we think moving forward to find out realistically how they are going to be with one another, we need to open up and see how it goes. So, yeah, we'll give them a nice big space inside the playroom and, yeah, just let them crack on with it. But also we kind of have the facility that if it does start going wrong, we can break it up. But, yeah, we just had to bite the bullet and hope for the best, really.
Before the pair are let into the indoor playroom, Sean allows them to meet in the bedrooms. Alpha male Bart takes the opportunity to put on a full display. But it's all bluff and bluster, and things soon calm down as Bart begins following Sacha around. He even offers his hand to the new female while fear grinning, and then seeking assurance from Sean when she doesn't respond.
Scared you, Bart?
With the introduction progressing well, Sean decides to let the pair have access to the indoor playroom, accompanied by other chimps from the troop. It's a gamble. If things get out of hand, it's a lot harder for the primate care staff to intervene. The move is greeted with excited hoots and chatter, but just as before, it quickly quietens down. Sacha starts to follow Bart looking for attention, but he mostly ignores her. It's a good result for the primate care staff, with no negative warning signs. They'll carry on the introduction over the coming days, allowing Bart and Sacha time to establish a settled relationship. If all goes well, the group could be back together as one in the very near future. At the Capuchin complex, Erico's troop have a fun and challenging day ahead of them. The park has received a donation of a lovely bunch of coconuts. And just like winning one at the fair, primate care staff member Donny is making sure the group will have their work cut out to claim a prize.
We always try to enrich them in some ways in whatever we give them. So by hanging them up in the trees and up in the towers, on the logs that go across the pond, it just makes it a bit more different for them. It means that they can't just grab one and run off. They've got to work for it a little bit more. Hopefully it'll last a bit longer and just get them thinking a bit more about how they're actually going to retrieve it and therefore get to them.
Capuchins are great problem solvers. In the wild, they use rocks as tools to crack hard-to-open nuts and fruits. Today, the coconuts have been cut in half, for safety reasons.
It would be great if we could give them these whole, because then you'd see the actual technique that they would use in the wild, which is peeling the outer flesh off, leaving them out in the sun for a period of time so that flesh goes brittle, so they can actually crack it open using the rocks and things that they have available to them. But unfortunately, we have several individuals that like to bash very hard items against things like windows. So for safety reasons, we can't do that. So we have pre-prepared them for them. But these will probably last them a good day, if not more. And nonetheless, you'll see them, they'll still have to smash them, and, the coconut inside is quite hard, so that'll keep them busy for a long time.
Coconuts at the ready. Time to see how the clever Capuchins cope with the challenge. They're not shy. Weeper Capuchin Matty is excited to be one of the first to a prize. But can he hang on to it? He uses his tail and his feet to try, clinging on with determination, but eventually loses the battle. Elderly Ringo shows just how clever Capuchins can be. He's bitten through the string holding the coconut, Using what's left of the string, he holds it in his mouth and heads high to eat it somewhere a little more comfortable. Caesar is happy to eat piecemeal. He demonstrates his core strength, using his tail as an anchor as he reaches down to grab a chunk of coconut. Sean demonstrates natural wild capuchin behaviour, bashing his coconut on a tunnel roof to try and loosen the flesh. He's second in command to Erico, who's showing off his agility, taking a bite of coconut before climbing down to claim another and change tactics.
Erico's always very noisy, but he's actually doing really well. He's using the hard bolts and the logs that are in the enclosure to try and smash the coconut out of the shell. So that's exactly what he should be doing, you know, that he's using the tools that he's got to get to the food as easily as he can. But yeah, he always likes to make a song and a dance about everything.
The group are enthusiastic about today's task. Capuchins have extremely long and sharp teeth, particularly the males. Although the coconut flesh is quite hard, they can easily tear it free. The group's dynamics have changed in recent months with Sonny joining, having been ousted as leader of the Capuchin group at the lodge by Franco. He offered no threat to Erico's leadership and settled in well, getting on with the majority of the troop. But the biggest change has come within the female hierarchy, resulting in former pet trade Capuchin Louisa taking the title of top girl, despite being an amputee.
Louisa is an absolute force to be reckoned with. Compared to the timid little animal that she was when she first came in, which was about a year ago now, she has completely transformed. She's now the dominant female in the group, and she is so feisty. So yeah, she's definitely cemented her place in the group.
It's been a successful morning for Erico's troop. They've all given the physical and mental enrichment challenge a go, and no one's found it a tough nut to crack. Next time on Monkey Life. It looks like there's a love match in the pipeline for Saki monkey Desmond, who recently lost his partner.
She's going to be younger, she's going to be more agile, probably going to encourage Desmond to live a bit more of an active life.
And rough and tumble for Woolly brothers Levi and Leroy.